God, where is Jarl? This is our first rehearsal of Save the Seas concert, and he doesn't even have the will to be here on time. Excuse me. You. Headphones down. Thank you. Hi. Yeah, sorry, not like you. I'm not trying to call you, but you are you. I just don't know your name. The name. Craig! Well, hey, how you doing? Good, yeah. Since you asked. I would be better if Jarl would frickin' show up, but he's still not here. I don't know what to say. Oh, you're here, finally. What's the hold up?
I get it, I know. I'm late again.
As you always are.
You know I have rec right after this.
And I know for a fact you can get from the yard to here because guess who has rec right after this? And I have not been late a single damn time.
Good for you.
Oh, shut up with all that brass. Ugh. It is our first rehearsal of Save the Seas concert, and I created this entire showcase just for you.
Now, why would you go and do that?
I mean, you're the one that's been asking to sing sea shanties since last November. I figured you'd be jumping for joy by now.
Don't be daft. I don't jump anymore.
Neither do I. Not with these knees, but that's besides the point. I adapted this whole thing for you, so I would expect and hope that you would be here on time for the rest of the month.
What does a sea shanty have to do with me?
Because you were a sailor in the Marines.
A sailor?
Oh, yeah. Like 30 years, it was that liver of yours that took you out of the service.
My liver is strong as it's ever been. Strong as an ox.
I'm sure.
Strong as a Marine. You know, I was in the Marines once. 30 years.
Yeah, you say so.
Yes, I was. I was the best Marine they ever had on service for those 30 years, and the 30 years before, and the 30 years after. No one could do what I did.
Impressive.
Yes, it was. You know the phrase, drunk like a sailor?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
Well, because of me, they invented one, drink like a Marine. It's impressive. I've drink more sissies than anyone under the table.
Hey, you don't say that anymore, dear.
What, drink?
No, sissies.
What's that? You don't have a sister anymore?
Oh my god, never mind.
What's this about a sea shanty?
Well, I mean, June is like National Ocean Month, so I completely made a whole arrangement singing different sea shanties for you to honor the high seas.
A sea shanty? Perfect! If I knew we were singing sea shanties, I wouldn't have dallied over at the wreck. You know, sea shanties are a lot better than this pop garbage that they play nowadays.
Oh yeah, and what is this pop garbage?
Everything from that parsley boy to the Supreme Chicks with Diane.
Oh, okay, so Presley with the Supreme and Diana Ross. Right, all the rage machines.
Not rage, garbage.
Right, garbage, pardon me, garbage of the 21st century.
Quite. There's nothing music quite like a sailor and a sea shanty.
Well, then you are going to really enjoy that you finally get to see your brand new arrangement.
Now, hold on.
Yes, Normal.
There's two of us. You need at least 3 for a proper sea shanty.
Well, you're in luck because we actually have a new member joining us today.
Where?
Oh, that's a good question, Okay. Not quite sure. I'm sure he'll be here soon enough. That's fine.
Soon enough? You're giving him a pass, but not me?
Yeah, I'm giving the new guy a pass. He just got here. Give him some grace.
Grace my butt.
All right.
I'm not gonna give him grace unless you give me some grace.
Me giving you grace was you being late to the first month of meetings. And then the second. And then every meeting therefore after.
Garbage.
No. Not quite.
Well, where is this new guy?
Like I said, I don't know.
Well, what's his name?
His name is Joffrey.
Joffrey? Well, where's Joffrey from?
Idaho, I think.
Idaho, I think. Where's that from?
I'm just saying he might be from Idaho. I'm not sure.
Line. Well, what's there to be unsure of?
Well, I don't know. He just got here last week, and the small story that we had didn't really make it clear where he's from, just where he was.
Where was he from at?
It's not my story to tell.
Tell what?
We got here, how we ended up here.
Garbage.
No, not quite.
It is. You meet someone from one time and you tell him how you got there? Well, he would just go around saying it to everyone on earth.
You know, some people just tell people things for no reason.
I don't.
You're right, some people don't tell people things for no reason.
Fine.
Fine, what?
If you tell me his story, I'll tell you mine.
I wasn't asking about your story. I mean, what's fair in that? He's not even here to defend himself. I mean,
Well, I just learn about him while he comes up here.
well, I could tell the story wrong.
You can clear it up when he gets here.
Fine.
Great.
But you have to promise me you're not going to tell anybody else.
Of course.
And you have to promise me you're not going to tell Joffrey.
Why not? It's his story.
I understand that, but he's not going to know that I told you.
Calm down, Joan.
Jarl.
Fine.
Fine. Bear with me.
Okay.
So, to my knowledge, this all happened last winter, okay? It was Joffrey, they were in a cabin up north-ish, Midwest, whatever, right? He brought his daughter, her husband, their 2 kids. They were in Idaho, right? That's where I'm like, Idaho, I think. Because the cabin was in Idaho, I don't know if they're from Idaho.
I remember.
Okay. Now, what if Joffrey told me this whole fiasco started at lunchtime? And you have to remember that, dear. That's very important. It is very peculiar that it happened at lunchtime. So I need you to remember.
I will.
Okay. To my knowledge, Joffrey was in the kitchen during lunchtime. All of a sudden, he started hearing bubbles, random bubbles all the time. So he thought it was the faucet. So he would go to yell to his granddaughter to tell her to turn off the faucet, which she did, right? Didn't solve the problem. Apparently, bubbles kept going and going and going. So then he would go back to his granddaughter and be like, will you please turn off the faucet? The granddaughter had already turned off the faucet, couldn't re-turn off and off the faucet, right? Long story short, Joffrey ended up getting mad and completely snapping at her, going, turn on the damn faucet! And then she responds with, oh my god, I said it's already off! Stop yelling at me! So, the yelling brings the brother into the room to stand up and help support what's ever going on. That is making Jeffrey a lot more angry, and Joffrey is getting more angry and yelling really loud. You with me? Okay, great. So as there is more yelling, the daughter and husband come in. That's where it gets finicky. Because let me tell you this. They don't know what they did, and Joffrey doesn't know what he did. All he knows is that the bubble sound in his ears kept getting louder and louder and louder, and he could not hear a single thing. The one thing that he knew is he came to in a cop car. Had no idea how he got there. But one thing is, his denim wet. Right? And it wasn't the snow that day, because the snow was not high enough to make his denim wet. So, that's all I got. So, that's all I said.
So, what's the denim pants have to do with it?
I don't know. Stop. You can theorize on your own time. Figure it out then.
Do you want to hear my story?
What?
I promised I'd tell you my story.
All right. What's your story?
There's not much to it. I got a letter from this corporation begging for money. I thought it was from some politician asking me for tax money, so I threw the letter out.
Off to a good bed.
Yeah, I thought, until a week or so later, cops were standing at my door along with a guy in a suit. They were saying things like evasion and fraud, it's garbage that I didn't understand at all, but I understood taxes, and I thought it was just some politician crap again, so I went to close the door, and they didn't like that. And then Mrs. came in, and she was all apologetic. She always apologizes to people who don't need apologized to. And she was saying how my liver and my head and how I'm not as sharp as I used to be. And she called me things like an old timer and an all rhymer and things like that. But I made it clear to them that I'm as sharp as I was the day I was born.
You are indeed, girl.
Indeed I am, Joan. Well, you know how it goes. Court cases, prison cells, more guys in suits. And now, here I am, in a nice orange suit myself.
I'm sorry, Jar.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Nothing can be changed now.
No, I suppose not.
Can I hear yours?
I'm sorry?
You know mine, and Joffrey's, and I know Joffrey's too. Can I hear yours?
My story.
About how you ended up here.
Times got really hard.
Happens to us all.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
But we all deserve to come somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, I suppose.
And a place with sea shanties isn't so bad.
No, I suppose not. See,